In the spotlight tonight is Iain McFarlaine from London, a copy editor, and his specialist subject is the radical politician Charles James Fox. John Paul Campion from Ireland, a doctor, and his subject is the Gaelic Athletic Association. Terry Alexander from Market Deeping, a fitter, and his specialist subject, the real ale breweries of Britain, and Geoffrey Snape from Blackburn, a geotechnical engineer, and his chosen subject is Marcel Proust. Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. Tonight, 4 more contenders will sit in the black chair. It may look comfortable, but it certainly won't feel it when they are interrogated for 2 minutes on their specialist subject and then on their general knowledge. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Iain McFarlaine.
Your occupation?
Copy editor.
And your chosen subject?
The life and career of Charles James Fox.
Charles James Fox in 2 minutes, starting now. In which London street was Charles James Fox born on the 24th of January, 1749?
Conduit Street.
Yes, what was the name of Fox's tutor at Hertford College, Oxford, who later became the Archbishop of Armagh?
Newcombe.
Yes, Fox entered Parliament at the age of just 19 when he was returned for which seat in 1768?
Midhurst.
Correct. Fox's first ministerial appointments to a junior post in which branch of Lord North's government in February 1770?
Admiralty.
Yes, in 1779, who slightly injured Fox in a duel caused by remarks that Fox had made about him in a House of Commons speech?
Adam.
Yes, in December 1783, Fox was dismissed as Foreign Secretary after the House of Lords had rejected which bill that had been passed by the Commons?
India.
Yes, Fox and his father made a number of unsuccessful attempts to get whose Marriage Act of 1753 repealed?
George III.
Lord Philip York. In 1795, Fox secretly married his longtime mistress, Mrs. Elizabeth Armistead, in the parish church of which Huntingdonshire village?
Witham.
Yes. Who was the Prime Minister when Fox was appointed as Britain's first Foreign Secretary in 1782?
Rockingham.
Correct. Which fashionable club opened in St James Street in 1778 and was the favourite haunt of Fox and his Whig friends?
Brooks.
Correct. To whom did the Duke of Norfolk compare Fox when he proposed the chief toast at Fox's 49th birthday dinner at the Crown and Anchor Tavern?
Napoleon.
George Washington. Which Act did Fox introduce in May 1791, although it wasn't carried through both Houses of Parliament until the following year?
Libel.
Yes. When Rockingham died in 1782, whom did Fox and his friends try unsuccessfully to force the King to appoint as Prime Minister?
Portland.
Yes, Duke of Portland. Fox was struck off the list of Privy Councillors in 1798 after proposing a toast to whom at a Whig club dinner?
Our Majesty the People.
Our Sovereign the People, yes. On his mother's side, Fox was a direct descendant of Charles II through which of the King's mistresses?
Louise de Querouaille.
Yes. What was the subject of Fox's last major speech to Parliament made on the 10th of June, 1806?
Slavery.
Yes. In the general election of September 1780, who was returned alongside Fox as one of the MPs... I've started, so I shall finish, as one of the MPs for the Westminster constituency?
1780, you said.
Your time is up, so you must answer the question.
Yeah, right. 1780. Rodney.
Yes, it was Admiral Lord Rodney. No passes. Iain McFarlaine, you have 15 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
John Paul Campion.
Your occupation?
I'm a doctor.
And your chosen subject?
The history of the Gaelic Athletic Association.
The Gaelic Athletic Association in 2 minutes, starting now. What is the name of the hotel in Thurles, County Tipperary, where the Gaelic Athletic Association was founded on the 1st of November, 1884?
Hayes Hotel.
Correct. Which Clare man, who was later immortalised as the citizen in James Joyce's Ulysses, was the prime mover behind the GAA's formation?
John O'Leary.
Michael Cusack. What was the number of the rule which banned any members from playing foreign games such as soccer, rugby and hockey until it was revoked in 1971?
Rule 27.
Correct. In which county was the first known hurling match under GAA rules played in January 1885?
Galway.
Correct. Which Tipperary man won gold in the all-round athletics event at the 1904 Olympics in St Louis and said to have paid his own fare to the games rather than compete for Britain?
Morris Davin.
Tom Keeley. What was the name of the Archbishop of Cashel who accepted the position of the association's patron in a letter dated the 18th of December 1884?
Archbishop Croke.
Yes. Who won 2 All-Ireland Championship medals in Gaelic football before switching to association football, where he won 71 international caps between 1980 and 1994?
Kevin Moran.
Correct. Whom did the GAA support in the 1891 split in the nationalist movement?
The Fenian movement. Irish Republican Brotherhood.
Who?
Parnell.
Yes. Which form of hurling is played by women and was established on a formal basis in 1904?
Camogie.
Yes. Who commentated on the All-Ireland hurling semi-final between Kilkenny and Galway in 1926, which was the first Gaelic game to be broadcast?
PJ Devlin.
No, Machigan. Which country did Ireland play in the historic Six Nations rugby game at Croke Park in February 2007, the first time a foreign sport was played there?
France.
Yes. Which stand at Croke Park is named after the Tipperary captain who was killed by the Black and Tans on Bloody Sunday in 1920?
The Hogan Stand.
Yes. The cup given to the All-Ireland senior champions of Gaelic football is named after which Cork man?
Sam Maguire.
Correct. Which sporting festival is named after a legendary Irish queen and was held at Croke Park in 1924, 28 and 32?
Tailteann Games.
Correct. The team from which county was the first to visit Australia in the 60s when a series of games took place involving elements of Gaelic and Australian rules football?
Meath.
Yes. Which sports commentator and broadcaster was put in charge of the commentary for the 1938 football semi-final? I'll finish the question. In Mullingar, when aged only 18?
Micheál O'Hare.
Yes. You have no passes. John Paul Campion, you have 13 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Terry Alexander,
Your occupation?
fitter,
And your specialist subject?
Real Ale Breweries of Britain.
Real Ale Breweries of Britain, in 2 minutes starting now. Which company in Faversham, Kent, has been brewing on the same site since 1698, claims to be Britain's oldest continuous brewer?
Shepherd Neame.
Correct. In 1978, who founded the Ringwood Brewery, one of the first modern microbreweries?
Pass.
Which Blackburn brewery took over the production of Lancaster Bomber after the closure of Mitchell's in 1999?
Thwaites.
Yes. Valhalla, Britain's northernmost brewery, is on which island in the Shetlands?
Uist.
No, Unst. In 2007, Wolverhampton and Dudley Breweries took the name of which company that they had taken over 8 years earlier?
Highgate.
Marston's. What's the name of Abbeydale Brewery's barley wine, which has an alcohol content of 11%?
Last Rights.
Yes. Which village near Pitlochry is home to an inn that's more than 300 years old and its brewery, which started operating in 1995?
Moulin.
Yes. The Phoenix Brewery of Haywood, Greater Manchester, was originally founded in Ellesmere Port under what name?
Pass.
Which company's brew house in Bridport, Dorset, is believed to be the only one in the country to have a thatched roof?
Palmers.
Yes, the quote, "Blessing of your heart, you brew good ale," from Two Gentlemen of Verona, is painted on the front of the Vine pub, which is the site of which brewery company?
Batham's.
Yes, the Cotley and Exmoor Ales breweries are situated in which Somerset town?
Wheelscombe.
Yes. Which Cardiff brewery produces a beer called SA, which is sometimes referred to as Same Again or Skull Attack?
Rains.
Yes. What's the surname of the brothers Ajmail and Sudaguro who bought the Robert Kane Brewery in Liverpool in 2002?
Boutal.
Dusange. Which brewery's 4.9% Christmas ale is called Rosy Nosy?
Bateman's.
Yes. What's the name of the mild produced by Robinsons of Stockport, which is also the nickname of the local football club?
Cockerels.
Hatter's. Nethergate's Umbel Ale is infused with what unusual flavouring ingredient?
Coriander.
Yes. The Donington Brewery near Stow-on-the-Wold in Gloucestershire is owned and run by which direct descendant of the original brewer?
Arkle.
Yes. Jack Hanby, who founded Hanby Ales, had formerly been head brewer at which Shropshire brewery that closed in 1988?
Wem.
Yes. And your time is up. You had 2 passes. It was the Oak Brewing Company that was originally founded in Ellesmere Port, and Peter Austin founded the Ringwood Brewery. So 2 passes. Terry Alexander, 12 points.
Thank you.
And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Geoffrey Snape,
Your occupation?
geotechnical engineer.
And your chosen subject?
The life and works of Marcel Proust.
Marcel Proust in 2 minutes, starting now. While walking in the Bois de Boulogne in spring 1881, Proust suffered an attack of which illness?
Asthma.
Yes, which fictional town is recalled in detail by the narrator while he's eating a Madeleine cake dipped in tea?
Cambrai.
Correct. Which of Proust's characters rises from ordinary beginnings to marry the Prince de Guermantes in Le Temps Retrouvé?
Pass.
In À la recherche du temps perdu, what is the name of the musician whose little phrase is often thought to be based on a Saint-Saëns sonata?
Pass.
Proust annoyed which composer with tactless questions about Beethoven on the night of the premiere of his stage work Renard?
Stravinsky.
Correct. The narrator discovers that which great artist was once the trivial painter known as Biche?
Elstier.
Correct. To which fictional garrison town does the narrator travel to meet Robert de Saint-Loup in Le Cote de Guermantes?
Dancière.
Correct. Which long critical essay by Proust opens with the line, "Daily I attach less value to the intellect"?
Pass.
In Allons des jeunes filles en fleurs, which diplomat claims that the road from Paris to London must of necessity pass through St. Petersburg?
No pas.
Correct. By what private nickname does the narrator refer to the prostitute who reappears as the mistress of Saint-Loup?
Rachel went from the Lord.
Rachel?
Went from the Lord.
Comte du Seigneur, yes. Proust's pastiche of Balzac, Flaubert and others appeared in which newspaper's literary supplement in early 1908?
Le Figaro.
Correct. Which character has an anonymous encounter with the Princesse du Guermantes doorman who discovers his real identity when he's required to announce him at a soirée?
Vaugoubert.
Duc de Châtellerault. In À la recherche du temps perdu, the narrator borrows pen and paper from Dr. Percipier in order to write a description of the twin spires of which town?
Martinville.
Correct. Which champion of Dreyfus, who later attained the rank of Minister of War, did Proust first meet at the house of Zola's publisher?
Picard.
Correct. Which aristocratic friend of Proust was introduced to him by Antoine Bibesco in 1901 and became an inspiration for Réveillon in Jean Santeuil?
Bertrand de Fenelon.
Yes. Who was the author? Start it off, finish of François Le Champy, the novel discovered in the Guermantes library that brings back memories of the narrator's mother?
Georges Sand.
Georges Sand is correct. You had 3 passes. Contre son beuve was the essay that I was looking for there. Vinteuil was the name of the musician, and Madame Verdurin was the character who rose from ordinary beginnings. 3 passes, Geoffrey Snape, 12 points. So that's the end of the first round, the specialist subjects. Let's have a look at the scores. In joint third place with 12 points, Terry Alexander and Geoffrey Snape. Second place with 13 points, John Paul Campion. A close contest this. In the lead with 15 points, Iain McFarlaine. So, round 2 now, general knowledge. If there is a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes get taken into account. Let's get on with it then, and let me ask Terry Alexander to join us again, if he would please. And we watch you as you walk to see how steadily you walk, our expert in real ale, because you've done a lot of research, obviously, for this programme.
Of course, and she'll do some more later on.
I dare say. But aren't we actually, I know we call it real ale, but we're drifting away a bit from what ale really is, aren't we? When you see some of the very bizarre things they use now to make beer from.
There's still several hundreds that are traditional ales. And that's expanding all the time.
And how? So, I mean, what, 10 breweries opening every week?
About that, yes.
That's
Yeah.
extraordinary. How can they all find a market?
They tend to work together, the breweries, and actually sell each other's beers. So the competition is not so bad as what it used to be. They actually help each other out.
And how much do you drink? You can be honest.
Well,
I won't tell anybody.
Oh, well, no, I'm keeping that under wraps.
Right, well, you've scored 12 points with your knowledge of real ale. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. What word does the Speaker of the House of Commons traditionally say twice to gain control of unruly MPs during a debate?
Yay.
Order, order. Which British explorer was the first European to see the Victoria Falls, which he named after the reigning monarch?
Livingston.
Yes, the Chiltern Hills are primarily composed of which limestone that was originally laid down in the Cretaceous period?
Chiltern.
Chalk. Which West Indian cricketer who played for the Lancashire League team of Nelson was knighted in 1962?
D'Oliveira.
Leary Constantine. What's the nickname of Detective Constable Davis in the novels on which the television series The Last Detective is based?
Pass.
Margaret Thatcher was born in which town, once voted the most boring in England?
Grantham.
Yes, on which island did Argentinian scrap metal merchants hoist their national flag in March 1982 in the lead up to the Falklands War?
Stanley.
South Georgia. Which American poet called Florence Nightingale the Lady with the Lamp in his 1857 poem Santa Filomena?
Tennyson.
Longfellow. There are 4 true falcons native to Britain: the peregrine, the merlin, the hobby, and which?
The Kestrel.
Yes. Operation Foxley was a plan devised by the British Special Operations Executive in 1944 to assassinate whom?
Elizabeth I.
Adolf Hitler, O Lord our God, arise, scatter her enemies, is the beginning of the second verse to which song?
The national anthem.
Yes. Which former lawyer's first work of non-fiction, The Innocent Man, published in October 2006, is about small-town justice in America that goes terribly wrong?
Pass.
Who replaced Andrew Marr as the BBC's political editor in 2005?
Pass.
Which 1999 film starring Johnny Depp and Christopher Walken is an adaptation of a Washington Irving tale about a murderous apparition called the Headless Horseman?
Sleepy Hollow.
Yes. The northern tip of which island is the nearest landmass to the North Pole?
Greenland.
Yes. Which saint, the mother of the Emperor Constantine, is credited with the discovery of the Cross of Christ?
Magdalene.
No, Helena. Which Birmingham band first topped the charts in 1983 with Is There Something I Should Know?
Bananarama. No.
Duran Duran is the answer to that, and you passed on 3. Nick Robinson is now the BBC's political editor. John Grisham wrote The Innocent Man, and Dangerous was the nickname of Detective Constable Davis. 3 passes, Terry Alexander, 18 points.
Thank you.
And now Geoffrey Snape, please. And I suppose you have to say of Marcel Proust that everyone has heard of him and almost nobody's actually read him.
I am told, and it doesn't surprise me, that many people start his books and don't finish. They are notoriously difficult, not merely to read, but I think it's a bit daunting when you start on his main tome and knowing there's another 3,000 odd pages to go.
One of his sentences was 958 words long.
Well, when I counted it, I made it about 1,300. Now, you could split that up. I'm sure that's a sentence that when we did O-level, that would have been a good question in an exam. Please split this sentence up into usable, proper sentences.
So why didn't he?
I have absolutely no idea. Well, he started on, he would start on a theme at the beginning of the sentence. He would try and add as much into it as he could, pulling in the various threads of the idea, and then get to the end of the sentence and wonder what it was all about, I'm sure, because that's what I've done several times.
Yeah, but then you would go back and edit it, wouldn't you? That's what
you think,
some
well,
writers
Proust didn't
would
do that. Proust added to it.
Exactly.
He didn't take anything from it.
Yeah.
A sentence would end up longer than when it started.
So doesn't that make him a bad writer? Technically, doesn't that make him
that
bad?
could be said to be the case. I know if I wrote that in my reports for work, people would string me up. I'm sure.
They would. Well, assuming they ever got to the end of them.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Or they might think you were so clever, they better not mess with you. And I suppose that's possible.
I certainly don't get that.
Right, you have 12 points. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. Joseph, or John Merrick, who died in 1890 and about whom a film was made in 1980, was better known by what name?
The Elephant Man.
Yes. Which American city grew from a Spanish mission site founded in 1771, whose name translates as Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels of Porciuncula?
San Francisco.
Los Angeles. Which British athlete won the gold medal in the women's heptathlon at the 2006 Commonwealth Games in Melbourne?
Pass.
Which Spanish soup, generally served chilled, is produced from a mixture of raw salad ingredients that are made into a puree?
Gazpacho.
Yes. Philip Pirip, known as Pip, is the central character of which novel by Charles Dickens?
Great Expectations.
Yes. In astronomy, Walter Bradman, Beethoven, Zappa Frank and Mr. Spock, among many others.
Asteroids.
Yes. Commander Shaw and his daughter Atlanta were characters in which 1960s children's television series?
Pass.
In the book of Genesis, which patriarch lived to be 969 years old?
Methuselah.
Yes. What surname is shared by Oswald, a fashion designer, George, a Premiership footballer, and Paul, a former Labour cabinet minister?
Pass.
The males of the impala, a type of antelope found in large herds in Central and Southern Africa, are noted for the shape of their horns that resemble which ancient stringed instrument?
Lyre.
Yes. The 2006 film Hollywoodland is about the investigation into the death of which actor who was the original television Superman?
Christopher Reeve.
George Reeves. What is the popular name of the sedative which was rumoured to have been put in soldiers' tea by the British Army in order to suppress their sexual urges?
Pass.
Richard Avedon was a leading exponent in which artistic field?
Expressionism.
Photography. What name for the 2 dots placed over a vowel, used especially in Germanic languages, comes from the German for about and sound?
Pass.
What relation was King Richard III to Edward IV, whom he succeeded as monarch in 1483?
Uncle.
Brother. In music, which note is equivalent to 2 crotchets?
Quaver.
Minim, what is the essential moving part of the ancient time-measuring device known as a clepsydra?
Water.
Yes, the flow of water. You had 5 passes. Umlaut is the 2 dots used in German. Bromide was what they're supposed to have put in the soldier's tea. Boateng, Oswald Boateng, George, and so on. Stingray was the television programme, the children's programme. And Kelly Southerton was the British athlete who won the gold in Melbourne. 5 passes. Geoffrey Snape, 19 points. And now John Paul Campion, please. And you are a doctor training to be a surgeon.
That's correct.
Why?
I don't know, I suppose I like the glamour associated with being a surgeon.
What about the kind of hours as a junior doctor you'd have to work? I'm working in hospital now. Have they changed all that? Because you used to work all hours God sends. Is that different now?
I suppose as a surgeon 20 years ago, you spent all your time in the hospital. It's not quite as bad as that now, but we still work 70 to 80 hours a week.
70, 80 hours a week? Yeah. And long stretches?
Long stretches. You could work 50 hours in a shift.
But what's the
nights.
point? I mean, why do it like that? Why have you, when you're doing such a critically important job, why have people working for 50 hours at a stretch?
I suppose there's just not enough doctors in the system to cover the on-call and to allow for training time during the daytime. We need to be there during the day in order to be trained, but also there need to be people in the hospital at night time to cover, so we end up doing both.
So have you done any big operations yet?
I'm only a first-year trainee, so
Right.
I'm only assisting the boss at the moment.
And how long will it take you to qualify?
Up to a consultant level, somewhere between 10 and 14 years, I'd say.
It's a long time, isn't it?
It's a big commitment.
On the other hand, it's a big job.
It is a big job.
Well, good luck with it. You have 13 points at the moment. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. At the start of which blockbuster novel by Dan Brown is Jacques Saunière, the curator of the Louvre Museum, murdered?
The Da Vinci Code.
Yes. For which American soccer club did David Beckham sign in January 2007 for a reputed salary of £128 million?
The Los Angeles Galaxy.
Yeah. Which major Belgian seaport lies on the River Scheldt, about 90 kilometres from the North Sea?
Bruges.
Antwerp. What practice was introduced by London police in May 1983 to deter illegal car parking?
Clamping.
Yes. In January 2007, the 14-year-old Michael Perham became the youngest person to sail single-handed over which stretch of water in his yacht, Cheeky Monkey?
The Atlantic Ocean.
Yes. Which Tolkien character is the son of Belladonna Took and her husband Bungo?
Meriadoc Pit.
Bilbo Baggins. Named after a Yorkshire Valley, which is the largest breed of terrier?
Pass.
Which singer's album, No Angel, became the UK's biggest-selling debut album by a female singer in 2001?
Charlotte Church.
Dido. Which institution was guarded at night by a detachment from the Brigade of Guards for nearly 200 years following the Gordon riots?
Buckingham Palace.
Bank of England. In The Simpsons, what's the name of Homer's tyrannical employer who owns the Springfield nuclear power plant?
Mr. Burns.
Yes. Orson Welles' radio dramatization of which novel by H.G. Wells caused panic in America in October 1938 because people believed that Martians had actually landed?
The War of the Worlds.
Yes. Pinhead or steel cut is a rough ground form of which cereal often associated with Scotland?
Maize.
Oats. Which statement about evolution was coined by Herbert Spencer in his 1864 work Principles of Biology?
Natural selection.
Survival of the fittest. The planet Neptune's largest known satellite is named after which Greek god of the sea?
Neptune.
Triton. What part of the body is protected by the gorget on a suit of armour?
The Troth.
Yes. Which German monk was excommunicated by the papal bull Desert Romanum Pontificum, issued on the 3rd of January 1521?
Martin Luther.
Correct. Which event of 16th of July 1945 was known as the Trinity Test?
The test of the first atomic weapon in
The first atomic bomb test, yes. You had 1 pass. The largest breed of terrier named after a Yorkshire Valley is the Airedale. You have, with that 1 pass, 22 points. And finally, Iain McFarlaine, please. Charles James Fox, a quite remarkable politician for all sorts of reasons. The monarch didn't approve of him.
A very obnoxious and odious man, George III said of Fox. Partly because George III saw him as leading George IV, his son, down the path of ill fame. He took him to gambling houses and whorehouses and other things like that. They shared each other's mistresses. Of course, George IV would almost certainly have done that, even if it hadn't been Fox who was encouraging him, but Papa didn't see it that way.
But what did he actually achieve? Because he was in opposition most of the time, of course.
There were really only two bills that he managed to pass. There was the Libel Act of 1792, which put the onus on the jury of deciding whether or not the article was in fact libellous, and also what sort of damages should be.
And we have that right to this day.
We do indeed,
So
yes.
That is well.
In his last dying months, there was the Slavery Act, which unfortunately wasn't passed until the following year, by which time he was dead.
Right, well, you have 15 points with your knowledge of Charles James Fox. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 22 is the score to beat. Here we go. 2 minutes starting now. Which art patron and philanthropist patented a device for making lump sugar and later merged his business with that of his commercial rival, Abram Lyle?
Tate.
Yes. Which television sketch show that began life on Radio 4 in 2001 is written by and stars Matt Lucas and David Walliams?
Little Britain.
Yes. What on the 31st of December 1998 was irrevocably fixed as being worth 13.76 Austrian shillings, 40.34 Belgian francs and 2.2 Dutch guilders?
US dollar.
The €1. In which county are the towns of Malmesbury, Marlborough and Melksham?
Wiltshire.
Yes. Which French actor and playwright was born Jean-Baptiste Poquelin in 1622?
Molière.
Yes. In 1886, Wilhelm Steinitz became the first officially accepted world champion of which game?
Chess.
Yes. The name of which arboreal rodent comes from the Greek for shade tail?
Squirrel.
Yes. Who, having invented dynamite, said that as soon as men find that in an instant whole armies can be utterly destroyed, they surely will abide by golden peace?
Noble.
Yes. In 1895, which conservation organisation received as its first donation 4.5 acres of cliffland near Barmouth in Wales?
National Trust.
Yes. Which rock and roll classic begins with the words deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the evergreens?
Johnny Be Good.
Correct. Nap, loo and scat are all types of what?
Cards.
Yes, card games. Which British naval officer gave his name to the scale of wind force that he devised in 1805?
Beaufort.
Yes. Which organ of the human body do the posterior, superior and horizontal semicircular canals converge in the vestibule?
The ear.
Yes. Which American sport has 5 players in a team and is divided at professional level into an Eastern Conference and a Western Conference?
Basketball.
Yes. What's the literal meaning of Mardi Gras?
Fat Tuesday.
Yes. The drowned city of Ys is part of the mythology of which ethnic group of northern France?
Breton.
Yes. Which school of art history and its associated collection of paintings moved to Somerset House in 1990?
Royal Academy.
The Courtauld. In Norse mythology, I've started so I'll finish, how many legs did Odin's magical horse Sleipnir have?
9.
8. But it doesn't matter because you have no passes and 30 points. So, at the end of the contest, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 18 points, Terry Alexander. 3rd place with 19 points, Geoffrey Snape. 2nd place with 22 points, John Paul Campion. Romped away in 1st place with 30 points, Iain McFarlaine. Which means, of course, that he goes through to the semi-final. Congratulations to him. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
And there's more questions available now with the BBC Mastermind quiz book. Well, next on BBC Two, Anne's in charge for the weakest link.